What's good? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Duga, coming at y'all with another episode of Drop It Dimes, Mr. Duga. And today, man, I'm gonna take a look back at last season's AFC West division, and I'm also gonna preview and predict make my predictions for the AFC West this year. Who gonna win the division? Come out second, come out third, and come out last, yo. Before I get into this video, man, for anyone, if you want to drop a dial on the Cash App information is down in the description box. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, that information is down in the description box. If you're a subscriber to the channel, greatly appreciate the love and support. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification button, like the video, and share it with your folks. First, looking at the AFC West last year, shot to the Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, look, y'all see the hat. Y'all know who I'm a fan of. I just want to ask if y'all can sit down now. You know what I'm saying? I just got to poke a little fun at y'all. I want to know if now y'all can finally sit down somewhere because of that belt the ass I gave y'all in that Super Bowl, man. So I'm just wondering if you can sit your ass down now. But hey man, I got into it with Chiefs fans last year saying that man, this team, though I respect the greatness of, and I still do, obviously, I respect the greatness of Patrick Mahomes. I respect the greatness of Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, Chris Jones, Travis Kelce and all that. But I just felt like that team wasn't a great team. There was a team that, got caught a lot of breaks. I'm not gonna get into the whole referee thing, man. I think some of that is a little blown out of proportion, to be honest with you. They got some calls, but a lot of it really wasn't referee stuff. Like it was them just making great plays, championship level plays and championship moments, and a lot of it was good fortune. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't think that resembled into a dominant team that's going to win another Super Bowl, and and it all caught up with them in the Super Bowl, man. But nevertheless, they got there. You know what I'm saying? They still running supreme in that AFC West, and they got there. That's nothing, regardless of what I think about the good fortune and what others think about the referees. This team ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? The Baltimore Ravens, the Bills, the Bengals, those teams in those divisions, they still got to overcome this team because this team is still the big dog, at least in the AFC. Still. Then you had the Denver Broncos, who was one of the more surprising teams last year. They took belt their ass to the wild card game by Josh Allen, but Sean Payton, he was a really, really, good head coach from everything he accomplished in New Orleans, and he found his guy. He found his guy in Bo Nix, and it was just his rookie year. So Denver Bronco fans, I'm sure gonna be excited. They led the league in sacks last year. Had players like Zach Allen come out of nowhere, start dominating. Nick Benito was really really good, and then Patrick Surtain Jr. Was the defensive player of the year. He's big time, yo. So Denver had a really good season, man. And you got to give Sean Payton a lot of credit, and also Vance Joseph with that defense, yo. This is a team that the previous year had a game where they gave up 70 points to the Miami Dolphins, and to go from that to being one of the better defenses in the league and leading the league in sacks, that's attributed to coaching and players buying in, man. So you got to give them a lot of credit for that. And also the Los Angeles Chargers, another team, had a surprising season. Took a little belt ass too in the wild card round against the Houston Texans. But one thing you could say about Jim Harbaugh is a good coach, man. No matter if he's at Stanford, knocking off number one USC, propelling Andrew Luck to be the number one pick in the draft, whether he got the San Francisco 49ers going to three straight NFC championships and a Super Bowl appearance, the Michigan Wolverines winning a national championship, and now the Los Angeles Chargers in year one making the playoff, and they're gonna continue to compete, man. He's a really good head coach. Justin Herbert, who I think the world of as far as physical ability, I think he's one of the more prototype quarterbacks in the league. He gonna have to start, putting a real resume behind him. But I think as far as pure talent, this guy is off the charts. Um, Lod McConkey, Georgia Bulldog receiver rookie last year, had a really good year for a rookie. Stepped up really well. And it was needed, man, because I felt like this team lacked a lot of personnel offensively and defensively. They had, I think, it was the number one scoring defense in the league last year. Just a really good unit, man. They did lose Joey Bosa, though. They got Khalil Mack is still there, Derwin James, and guys like that, man. Really, really solid unit, and especially a unit that don't have a lot of big names like that. But once again, Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator, you got to give him a lot of credit for getting the most out of that unit as well. And then you got the Las Vegas Raiders last year, who I thought it was unfortunate. Antonio Pierce got put in a no-win situation. He was part of a team that was basically the equivalent of a G League NFL team or a minor league NFL team that was put out there week in and week out. No quarterback, no players like that. Though the one positive spot that came out of that team last year, Brock Bowers could play. like, and look, as somebody who watched a lot of SEC football, I knew how good Brock Bowers was in college at Georgia. But I was like, yeah, he ain't got no quarterback play with the Raiders, and he still put up like all kind of rookie tight end records last year. Brock Bowers is the real deal, yo. But Antonio Pierce gets fired, and the team, though they had some games where they were competitive, it was just a wasted season. Traded away Devontae Adams, and also Max Crosby could still really play too, man. They do got two pieces, one on the offense, one on the defense, that there's something they could lean on going forward. That was a look at last year, right quick. Now, me taking a look at each team, what I think of them this season. Starting off with the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Look, that team is still the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how my Eagles did them in the Super Bowl, this is still the Kansas City Chiefs. Where I feel obviously the most confident with them about offensively, obviously it starts with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Probably one of the better quarterback coach duos of all time. It starts with them. And defensively, it starts with Steve Spagnuolo and that defensive line. Chris Jones, George Kalafkis, those guys could really get after the passer. I also think they improved in the secondary where you got Trent McDuffie, the all pro corner on one end. They added Christian Fulton on the other side, man. I thought the second corner was a weak spot for them. And obviously the Eagles exposed that in the Super Bowl when you look at the Jahad Dotson catch early in the game and the Devontae Smith touchdown. Those wasn't on McDuffie, and I think Fulton, not saying that he's an all pro corner or anything like that, but I think he brings a little more stability to that other cornerback spot. Where I think they might, my concerns with them offensively, I still worry about their running game a little bit. Pacheco is a battering ram type of running back, but as you see with that running style, it brings injuries. And he's already not the most explosive back, but that brings injury. Kareem Hunt, it's a nice story, and he gonna give you a good solid 3-4 yards here and there, but they don't have no breakaway back. A guy that I want to see how they implement in the offense is, right around from where I'm from, Elijah Mitchell from Erath, Louisiana. He signed with the Chiefs, man, and I remember his rookie year with the 49ers. He looked really well. Now his issue has been injuries as well, but I think he could be the most explosive running back that they have. When out of those three. So we're gonna see what happens with him, but I still worry about the Chiefs running game a little bit. I think they improved on the offensive line. They went get the rookie Simmons. And I just think that they're gonna be better on the offensive line. For the Chiefs defensively, my thing was the secondary, but they did lose Justin Reed. But like I said, I think Christian Fulton coming in on the other cornerback spot, I think is going to get this team a little better in the secondary. Um, but look, man, obviously Mahomes is great. Kelsey is a little older, but he still could be effective. They get Rashad Rice. We're gonna see if he got to face some type of suspension or not. But they get Rashad Rice, was on with Xavier Worthy, who I think develop really, really nicely towards the end of the year and could be in tune for a big year. And Hollywood Brown back, see if they can have him healthy the majority of the year. And like, defensively, that D line I talked about, Nick Bolton, a guy leading the linebackers. And like I said, you got Fulton now on the opposite corner. Looking at the Denver Broncos, Sean Payton, Bo Nix, looking to see how Bo Nix looks in year two. Will it be a sophomore slump or will he start to continue to progress? That's something we're going to see. I thought they addressed the running back position. RJ Harvey, the rookie coming in, I think is explosive and could give him a little pop in the running game. Evan Ingram is an upgrade for them at the tight end position as well. And their receivers, it's not a great run, but it's solid. Franklin is a burner, and Cortland Sutton is, somebody who could still, make the 50-50 ball catches. This team is loaded defensively, man. With Zach Allen on the D line, Benito at linebacker, they added Dre Greenlaw coming in. The secondary is really good, with Patrick Surtain Jr., Riley Moss, and they added Hufanga in free agent from the 49ers. So for them, man, I think offensively, I think I think the offensive line is pretty solid also. With them offensively, I don't think this is going to be like a super explosive offensive team, but I think they're decent at every level offense as far as especially running the football. And defensively, I think they're just a solid, sound unit. Looking at the Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert, like I said, this guy, I think he has all the talent in the world. He got to start putting some things on his resume, though, man. You can't, after so long, people gonna want you to start doing things and producing. They added Amarian Hampton to the run game as well as Najee Harris, the back from North Carolina, the rookie. Let's see how he does. I still think this team lacks some explosiveness at the receiver position. Lyle McConkey was really good. Shout out to Trey Harris, Lafayette, Louisiana, representing, man, around from where I'm from. I think he could step in and do well, but he even coming off of, some nagging injuries at his last year at Ole Miss. They bring Mike White Williams back, man. I don't really know what to expect from him like that. I still think this team needs more wide receiver depth. Um, and defensively, Khalil Mack could get after the quarterback. I know they brought in Bud Dupree, but can they replace that production that Joey Bosa had last season? And in the secondary, it's a young group. Derwin James is obviously going to spearhead it, but they got really good coaching, man. That's one thing I don't question. They got really good coaching with Harbaugh and with Jesse Minter with the defense, but I still, personally, for me, I still feel like this team needs just a little more personnel. Maybe another draft or two will get them right where they really, really need to be. And then the Las Vegas Raiders, man. Pete Carroll is now the head coach over there. Pete gonna bring a lot of energy, and Pete is somebody who has won everywhere he's been. But the one question I have, Pete O, you know what I'm saying? And Pete last year or two in Seattle did not go well. So let's see how he does, man. He brings in Geno Smith, his quarterback, who obviously is an upgrade from what they had the last couple of years or whatnot. Ashton Genty will come in there running back. At worst, he's going to be very productive. You know what I'm saying? Don't know if he's going to be an all rookie, an all world rookie as a rookie, but I think he's a really good back and is going to bring some solidness to that backfield. Like I mentioned, I think Brock Bowers is a dog at tight end. He's amazing. I think Geno Smith gonna love throwing to him. The receiver core, look, shout out to Jack Bech, man, another Lafayette, Louisiana guy around. I've interviewed him before, man. Just a really good young man, great player, and strong man of faith. Been through a lot with the tragic situation with his brother passing away on New Year's in New Orleans, man. But he's a good football player. But I still think they need more weapons. I think Pete gonna start get. I think they're gonna be improved, but I think they need more weapons. And defensively, Max Crosby gonna be one of the better pass rushers in the league. Wilkins on the interior gonna do some good things. But once again, I think they just need more personnel at linebacker. They need more personnel in secondary. But with Pete, he's going. We're gonna see how long he got left to coach. But I think he's gonna slowly start building this team to where it needs to be. As far as my prediction for the AFC West this year, I'm going to Kansas City Chiefs to win this division again. Like, I like the coach. They got great coaches in this division, but I just think Kansas City is still the cream of the crop for the AFC West, and that's not going to change. I got them winning the division. I like the Denver Broncos to finish second. I like this team a lot. Like I said, I don't think they're going to be a supremely dynamic offensive team, but I think they solid. They floor on. I don't think they got high ceilings on offense, but they got high floors. But I think they're gonna be really good defensively. Give me the Denver Broncos to go second. Give me the Chargers third, man. I believe in Jim Harbaugh as a coach and Jesse Minter as a defensive play caller. I still just think this team just needs a little more talent. I just don't think they got quite as much talent as Denver and the Chiefs per se, but I think they're heading in the right direction. In last place, I'm gonna go to Las Vegas Raiders. I think they're gonna be improved than from what they've been, but the talent wise, they're still not yet to the other teams. So AFC, my predictions for the AFC West 2025: Kansas City Chiefs, AFC West champs. Denver Broncos second place, Los Angeles Chargers third, Las Vegas Raiders last place. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe. I have Philadelphia Eagles, NFL, and content on my other teams throughout the year. Y'all have a blessed one. Fly, Eagles, fly.